talking about a technique that you can use just to relax yourself, just to make yourself comfortable. And I want you to put your hands in your lap or at your side. Anything that's comfortable is fine. And I'm going to teach you to take a deep cleansing breath, which some of you know about taking a deep cleansing breath. They're called abdominal breaths. And let me see if I can stand up. And what I want you to practice is put your dominant hand, whether you're a righty or a lefty, put your dominant hand on your belly. And I want you to imagine taking a very deep, slow breath and expanding your belly as if you had a balloon in it. And as you breathe, hold it for 3 seconds, and then slowly let it out for 3 seconds. And again, expanding your belly, slowly breathing in, slowly letting it out. Again, 3 seconds in, hold it, then slowly let it out. As an aside, the vagus nerve runs through the diaphragm. What you're really doing is expanding and stimulating your vagus nerve, which stimulates certain hormones in your brain, which are tremendously beneficial. And anybody who does meditation knows the power of the cleansing breath. You're actually releasing endorphins, and you're releasing serotonin and melatonin, all things that help sleep, help anxiety, stress, and are generally very beneficial. So let's continue on now. And again, I want you, just as I taught you, I want you to take a deep breath, holding it for 3 seconds, slowly let it out. Let's practice that together. Deep breath, hold it for 3 seconds, and slowly let it out. And deep breath, and hold it for 3 seconds, and slowly let it out. And as you continue to breathe in this way, I want you to just concentrate on my voice. And I want you to imagine yourself in a very safe place. It could be a place of your childhood. It could be a place that you go to in the summer. For many people, it's a beach. For some people, it's a garden. Whatever it is, whatever makes you feel safe and happy and enjoyable, imagine yourself sitting in that place as you continue to breathe deep and slow. And let's say you imagine yourself on a beach. It's a beautiful day, maybe
Artie, you're frozen.
Oh, go ahead. Thank you.
On every number, I want you to imagine that your eyelids are growing heavy and relaxed, just extremely relaxed. And on each number, they'll feel a little bit more relaxed until eventually on 3, if you feel like it, you can close before. But on 3, I'll ask everybody to just close your eyes. 1, you breathe deep and you imagine your eyelids getting heavy and relaxed. Those eyelids that do so much work, staying open all day. 2, they get even more heavy. They feel more heavy. And 3, they're so heavy, you just let them close. And even if you don't feel the heaviness, you just let them close for our purposes. And as you breathe deep and slow, I want you to imagine yourself on that safe place in the beach or in the garden, wherever feels comfortable to you. When you imagine yourself sitting there, maybe you hear birds singing, maybe you hear the crash of the waves, whatever makes you feel comfortable. You think of that. You imagine it. Maybe you even smell the salt air. You breathe deep. You feel so relaxed, and you continue to breathe deep and slow. And as you breathe deep and slow, imagining these thoughts, you let that heavy feeling, that relaxed feeling in your eyes, spread to the muscles around your face. You just let it happen. For our purposes, you just let it happen. You let your jaws feel relaxed. You feel that heaviness and relaxation as you breathe, going right into your jaw and spreading down into your neck. You imagine what that would feel. Well, how that would feel. You imagine the heaviness and the good feeling going into your neck, spreading into your shoulders. You imagine those shoulders that work so hard, they feel loose. They feel limp. And almost like a wave, you imagine that relaxation flowing down into your arms, down into your elbows, from your elbows down into your forearms, and down into your wrist. And it spreads even into your hands and your fingers and all the way into your fingertips. And your arms feel so loose and relaxed. And you let that relaxation flow down also into your chest as you breathe deep and slow. And that heaviness, that relaxation flows from your chest down into your stomach, from your stomach down to your waist and your hips. And it feels delicious. And you let yourself enjoy it. This is supposed to be enjoyable. And you let it flow down into your thighs, a wave of relaxation flowing down into your knees, into your shins, down into your ankles. You just let it happen. You go deeper and deeper relaxed. And the relaxation flows into your feet and your toes, and even to the tips of your toes. And now again, I want you to focus your attention on this beautiful scene where you are. And I want you to imagine that you see a series of footsteps going off to the end of the beach or the end of the garden. It's your choice, whatever you choose. And in a moment, I'm going to have you imagine that these footsteps lead to a door. And that you have a tremendous curiosity. For our purposes, you're curious to see what's behind that door. And in your imagination, you rise up out of your comfortable chair and you follow these footsteps. And I'm going to count down from 10 to 1 to bring you to that door. And I want you to allow yourself to go deeper and deeper relaxed as we count down. Just letting yourself relax and feel comfortable and enjoying it. 10, you take a step in your imagination towards that door and you go double your relaxation. You just double it. You let it happen. You take another step, 9. You go 10 times more relaxed. Deeply, deeply relaxed. More relaxed than perhaps you've been in a long time. You go to 8. 7, going towards that door, getting more and more relaxed as you walk. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, going deeper and deeper relaxed with every step. 2, and 1. And now you imagine yourself in front of the door. And there's a sign on the door. It says the control room of your mind. And your curiosity overwhelms you. You want to see what's in that control room to your own mind. And for the sake of using your imagination, you imagine that you're going to enter into that control room and see what's there. And you look at the door and there's a handle, there's a doorknob. Maybe it's glass, maybe it's metal, maybe brass, maybe wood. It doesn't matter. Whatever you imagine is fine. And in your imagination, I want you to imagine that you're going to reach out and take hold of that door. And in fact, if you feel like it, just reach out with your hand. Just reach out with your hand and take hold of that door in your imagination, hold on to it, and turn it. Turn it to the right, and imagine it opening, and you step inside. And you look around that room, and in that room, there are all sorts of buttons and levers, and they represent the functions of your body. For the sake of using your imagination, you imagine that these levers represent the things that control your bodily functions. There's one for your digestion. That seems to be just about right. There's a lever for your blood pressure. That's about right. One is for your heartbeat, just right. And you know that all these things are things that our brain can control, and our emotions control these things. But you glance off to the right, and in your imagination, you imagine you see a lever that is labeled stress. And this one is way up high. And for some reason, this one is high, and you know that that's not good. And so you imagine reaching over, and in your imagination, or you can do it yourself just now, you imagine you take hold of that lever. You want to bring it down. You don't want your stress level to be high. And you try to pull it down, but it seems stuck, and you put a little more force, and you pull it down ever so slowly, and it starts to give. And as it gives and it comes down, you imagine that at the same time, you feel more deeply relaxed and positive. You feel relaxed. You feel even better. You lower it again, and you imagine the corresponding reduction in your stress. You just let it happen. You have control. You lower it again, until you lower it all the way down. And you feel good about this. You feel good that you have some ability to control your bodily functions. And you feel a sense of well-being, and you feel satisfaction. You feel good. You feel relaxed. You feel comfortable. And if any time after today you feel stressed out and overwhelmed by things that are happening, I want you to use this technique, either with deep breathing, picturing yourself somewhere, visualizing yourself in a peaceful place. And you can even go into the control room. You can go into the control room of your own mind and lower your stress. And if you're in a place where you cannot use this technique, I want you to picture putting your thumb and your index finger together. And I want you to do it now, physically. Touch your thumb and your index finger together. And imagine that as you press that together, the lever of the stress will lower as well. And just picture that. Picture what it would be to pinch your fingers together and allow that lever to come down, allow the stress level to come down. And in a moment, I'm going to put you back onto the beach or the garden, wherever you were, and we're going to very gradually become alert again. But in the future, if you ever want to go into this deep relaxation, you're going to find it easier. You're going to find it much easier. And you're going to be able to go into it longer and have a better effect. And if you see water tomorrow, at any time tomorrow, you're going to remember this technique, and you're going to remember to relax yourself and feel calmer and feel comfortable. So in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5, and you will gradually become more and more alert. And when we do reach 5, you will feel terrific. You will open your eyes and feel like you had a wonderful, wonderful rest, like you've been relaxing or dozing for hours. And you're going to have a wonderful evening, and tomorrow you're going to have a wonderful day and feel full of energy and feel great. 1, you're starting to become more alert. The energy is flowing back into your arms and your legs. 2, you're still feeling more alert. The energy flowing all around, coming back in. 3, you're halfway alert. You're halfway back. 4, you're pretty much all the way back there. You're coming around. You're almost completely alert. And 5, you are completely alert and energized. If your eyes are closed, open your eyes. You can stretch if you want. You can relax.